3 people, full health. We got one person over here, almost no health. He's support, so he's really there for utility, though. We've got Draven, and then we've got us 2 up here. Well, we know Trinimir's top, so the most it could be is a 4v4. Okay, look at that. Who is a retard? Look at me walk in front of Jarvan. I don't know what I was doing, what I was thinking. This is way too deep for me to be in there. And as a result, she ends up doing a little bit of damage to me, gets free hits off on me. And Jarvan goes in to try and save me, because the next thing she was going to do was pin me to the wall. Well, I was like, okay, well, Jarvan's going in. I'm going to turn around and go in. And over here, we've got Campbell still not exactly, doesn't really... He starts heading over, but he's not really there. He's low on health, so he really doesn't want to go in either way. Draven's over here, and it's like, okay, well, maybe we can... We're still really split up, so it's going to end up being 2v1. And Draven's... Oh. His E is off cooldown. Interesting. He could have used his E, which is the stand aside, where he throws the 2 blades and it moves them aside, to interrupt that, I believe, if that works. If someone knows otherwise, please say so. But, so, we end up going. Fiddlesticks gets his ulti off. I get caught hard. Like, I try to throw some plants down. I'm running away. Let me see my cooldowns right now. My cooldowns are all up. I should have turned around and threw a spell or 2 out. Diana jumps on me. We get the Zonias from Fiddlesticks. And they're going bot. Campbell ends up falling pretty quick. And then I believe he gets that. I ended up dying to Diana. And then so does Jarvan. And I don't have a whole lot, so I shoot my thing. They're already out of range, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I do get him. And Draven's stuck here alone. And he ends up getting his ass kicked. I don't know why he juked back, but he did. And then Trinimir's like, okay, well, I've got free reign of towers. Aatrox couldn't do a whole lot, so it's like, eh. But so, back to farming. Blue buff is up. I should go get it now. We decide to dragon. I go to get it, but we get pinged elsewhere. And I was kind of glad I decided to go get blue buff, because let me show you what happened real quick. Okay, so we get dragon, normal stuff. Diana's there. We know Diana's there. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to go get blue buff. There's 4 of you. I'm not worried about it. So, she gets caught, and then she flashes over the wall, and look who she flashes to. Jarvan gets the kill. She probably would have died anyways because Jarvan flashed over, but I got an assist because of that. So I go to finish up my blue. They're like, hey, let's push mid. I'm like, hey, let me get blue real quick. So I'm flying all around the map, placing wards now. Okay, let's take another look at this, because this was really neat. Okay, so Tryndamere, let's do one more. So Tryndamere is spotted top, as you can see. We pinged him like, okay, let's go get him. Instead of running back, he ran into that bush. So we're like, okay, well, maybe he's gonna run through here. Or maybe decide to juke through there. I don't know why he would juke through there. But just in case, I decided to throw a plant in there. I could have just left the seed in there, but I decided to do the whole thing. I knew he was going to be in there. And I flashed as soon as I knew it. I don't know how close he was to his back. But I end up catching him. He stops backing manually. And Jarvan gets some auto attacks off and knockup, which allows us to both catch him. We nail everything. I throw the ult off. And Trinimir's ult was up, but apparently he just didn't get a chance to use it. So that was definitely a little fun game. That was just something I wanted to show you. I mean, I really don't know the educational benefits of that. But let's go ahead and continue. Nope. So bot's getting their butt fucked. I'm like, okay, well, let me take top. Well, bot is getting their butt fucked, and they're all bot. So I'm like, okay, well, I gotta head over there now. And as you can see, they're taking the tower. Jarvan and all of them try and stop them. Fiddlesticks get a nice ult over the wall. Jarvan gets an ult, but it doesn't exactly work because it's Vayne. He gets nailed to his own wall. And then so I get here and I'm like, well, there's 4v2 and Aatrox has no health. So I'm like, well, I can't. This tower's going down. I admitted that at this point. So I threw my plants out to try and do as much damage, and the Fiddlesticks is overextended. He throws a fear out. Zonya's, because I'm assuming his drain is on cooldown. As soon as he gets up, stunned from Taric, and he ends up dying to Draven. So Taric keeps going in balls to wall. It's 3 of us, 3v3 right now, so this is a half decent fight, but we're still really low. And in the end, we end up chasing them out, as you can see, and we're like, okay, well, this is kind of, everyone's pinging us to not do it, and we're like, okay, well, let's just push the wave out and go. Okay, well, thanks to our ward, though, we catch Diana and her here. Taric was chasing Sona and placed a ward in there just to make sure they weren't there, so they started running away. So Taric was here to cut them off, which is very fortunate because he actually gets a good stun off. I think the flash may have been unnecessary, but I'm not exactly sure what his range was. We get a couple good hits off thanks to his sacrifice. I didn't get an assist because none of my shit went off in time for it to actually get an assist. So here's where I make a really weird mistake. Alright, so 2 of them are down. Vayne and Diana. Fiddlesticks is missing. Tryndamere is missing. Or Tryndamere's top. So I know where one of them are. Instead of continuing to push this, I back up because I'm afraid that I'm going to get ganked when, in the end, reality, I probably wasn't going to. As you can see, no one's there now to stop the wave. I probably could have taken that. But so I go and place my wards. Alright, quick note. As for wards, as a mid, in general, you should have wards for, you know, general, like this area in general, or, you know, this area in general, or this area in general, or if maybe you're feeling cheeky, you can put one down here, you know, if you get a chance, because dragon is an important objective. My favorite places to put wards, even not as mid, is right here and right here, because it shows a lot of cross traffic. I would put it in here, but I believe you do get a little bit of vision into the river. If anyone has any more advice or suggestions, or, you know, let me know, that'd be awesome. You know, this is as much for me as for anyone who is watching this video. So, but another fun place to put wards is in obviously the tri bushes are important. When I'm topping, for example, say I'm top here. Or no, I'm top on this lane. I'm top on blue. I'd place a ward in their bush, and I'd place a ward there. So I'm here, so I have these 2 places warded. The only place I could see them whenever they come to gank me. Instead of having a ward here in general, I see when they're moving from here, and this also gives ward mid some coverage as well. The only other way they can see is if they do like a teleport gank or a lane gank or whatnot, but it cuts off every entrance to the river on top side from there. So I get a lot of free coverage, and I also get to kind of keep an eye on the jungler's progress, because it does show every time they walk past her, most of the time you end up seeing the champion, so kind of nice. But and then the typical ward places, obviously here, you know, Baron, Dragon, a couple other places, you know, if you're this is just off topic. As top, for example, you're blue. One thing, if you're a strong character like Cho'Gath, or like, you know, someone who's kind of beefy, can really duel well. If you get the chance, this is kind of risky, but you can put a ward right here, and then when they go to their red, especially as like Nunu or what's his face, Cho'Gath, or someone who has like a lot of burst. And then what you can end up doing is, if they don't have a ward here, which if you're lucky, you know, you can fly up through here, and if you see them start moving, then you know something's wrong, and you get GTFO. But you fly in here, tell your mid you're coming in here, and then you steal their red, or if they're low health, you let them take red, and then you kill them. And then you get the fuck out. The only problem is you can get flanked from mid here, and your top will end up coming down here, so you may end up having to like jet out. Or if your mid ends up coming up to help you, you guys could probably take on that person before the top gets there. So, little off topic, actually very off topic. Let's get back to the game. So, alright, there we go. So, just going ahead and pushing lane. At this point, we're not really doing anything. We catch Tryndamere, he ends up, you know, dying, blah, blah, blah. Alright, Vayne here gets really overextended, and we're like, we're gonna get her! And Fiddlesticks trap. I end up falling quickly to Fiddlesticks. In the end, I get my true damage off. Doesn't do a whole lot, and then Aatrox, our carry, ends up cleaning up pretty quick. So he goes to take blue, all that fun stuff. But at this point, we're not doing anything. We're reacting to them. That's my main problem, is we're kind of like farming still, and we're just reacting to them. We are down 2 towers, and even though we've gotten like almost every dragon, or every dragon at this point, we still don't have that great of a league. And we're also up 4 kills, but that's partially because they've got, you know, towers. So I throw, you know, try and still jungle, but we're not doing anything. This is my big problem. And I wasn't trying to start anything. I don't know why. Like Jarvan and all of them were farming and jungling and whatnot and pushing out the lanes, but it's like, okay, well, we've got no game plan here. Let's take control. We're taking control of the objectives, but like dragon. But okay, so here, this is a bad idea. I walk into the bush not knowing who's there. Luckily, no one was. So they end up GTFOing, and they've got a plan. They're pushing bot out. They're pushing bot out pretty hard, and they're actually taking towers and semi-grouping up, or backdooring and keeping us preoccupied. I don't know what the fuck I did there. I walked in the base and then walked out. Oh, it looks like blue team did get the dragon. Okay. So, see Diana here. I see Aatrox here. So Diana tried to gank Aatrox. Slow this down. Oops. There's Vayne. There's Sona. I don't see Sona. I just walk right by her, and then after she comes back out of the bush, I see her. So I know she's there. I keep walking, even though I know they're right there, and a Fiddlesticks pops out of the bush. Draven, like an idiot, follows me. I've got myself fucked because I guess I wasn't paying attention. I get feared. Sona. There's a Tryndamere. Okay. At this point, you should have run Draven. Draven should have took off because I was dead. It's nice thought. I guess he tried to save me. Jarvan got the fuck out because I got caught. He's going to get in there. It's going to be 1v3. And Draven's just going to get obliterated. Aatrox probably could have come in. If they both came in, maybe. But at the same time, we know that there's Vayne and Diana in these nearby bushes. So I end up getting obliterated. He ends up getting deaded. And now I've left my team with nothing. So they don't have anything to defend. Jarvan tries to defend the tower, but he ends up going down. Not a whole lot he could have done. So I end up getting back up. Oops. I end up getting back up here in a second. They don't get this tower. We all get there in time. And see, again, I don't know what we're doing. Aatrox just took off. Draven just took off. Here we do catch Diana doing red, thanks to that ward that I put there. I think I put that there. Or our wolves. So we ended up catching him. Fortunately, Draven, I thought I would save Draven, but unfortunately, he died to Ignite. I don't know why I keep getting those mixed up, fortunately and unfortunately. But again, we're just farming. This is like the big problem. We're not doing anything. We placed wards. We took out their ward at Baron, so we're keeping control of like the buffs and stuff in our side of the jungle, but we're not doing anything about theirs. See, I'm just following Jarvan around. I mean, I don't want to wander off by myself because I don't want to get crushed. But again, we know where they are. They're like, oh, blue's up, and then it's like, well, there's Fiddlesticks over. There's a team fight going. I probably could have gone and snagged blue because nothing really happens here until now. Jarvan catches Sona around here. I'm assuming he thought it was only Sona, and they're blue buff. So he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go in. Well, he gets caught by Tryndamere and Sona, and they're going to collapse from over here. And as you can even see, we got Diana and Vayne flying from across the map to get to us. I throw some Thresher plants over. I keep calling them Thresher. I think that's what they're called. To kind of slow them, hopefully help Jarvan get away a little bit, and threw my root out so it hit Tryndamere. And so as we continue, he does what he can. I throw out my ult to do my best to save Jarvan, and then I get ulted from behind by a Fiddlesticks. And all the damage that we did. And Jarvan's trap really didn't work as well because he did have flash or his spin. But we ended up getting ultied by Sona. I run because we're outnumbered. This is a terrible kind of team fight. It's Jarvan in there and Draven in there. And we got Diana and Vayne coming from the other side. Aatrox is coming down. But it's kind of like a little bit of a funnel. I've got no health, so I can't really do a whole lot. At this point, I probably should have known I was dead. and casted some spells, threw out a couple plants. But I didn't know that Vayne was here. I didn't realize that. Even though we saw it on our map, it didn't click in my head. So we continue. Tryndamere ends up falling. Fiddlesticks almost kills me. I get away for a second. I'm like, yeah! And then Vayne killed me. So Fiddle did his shit to get out of there. We already took out 2 of them. Sona, I think, flew the hell out of here. I don't know why she didn't stay with her team. I guess she was low. And then Aatrox ends up coming in and carrying. He ends up killing the Vayne. Or Draven ends up actually killing him, but dies. And then she jukes. Okay, one thing here. One of them should have gone up here, and one of them should have gone this way. I can't ping anymore. But they both decided to go bot because for some reason they thought that she would go bot. In the end, obviously they don't end up catching her, so they just back up. There's not a whole lot they can do. So 3 for 3 exchange. I mean, pretty good exchange. Just kind of a clusterfuck of a team fight. It was something that we shouldn't have engaged on because of how weird it was, because of how everyone came in from different sides. Especially after the fiddle, that's when it really kind of got messed up. But went back for blue. Everyone's like, hey, let's do dragon again. Even though Tryndamere's right there and Fiddlesticks is right there. We just found out that Fiddlesticks is right there, though. Ooh, pardon me. So we decided to throw it. Get it. Fiddlesticks is overextended. We catch him, take him out. Apparently they didn't have any wards. Sona falls. They decide to take the tower. Or take the tower. Oop. We just fly through there. Draven's trying to defend against Tryndamere. So we do all of our shit and all of our power to try and take them out without dying to Vayne. So we're trying to get this inhibitor. Now we've actually got an idea of what we're doing and where we're going. I stopped to say something right there. I don't know what. But I threw some plants to kind of keep an eye on the bushes, make sure they weren't coming from anywhere. And we did end up seeing them. This is an engagement that we all decided to fly away from. But we find out that we're like, well, they were all headed towards Baron. So Jarvan puts a ward, or puts this thing in there, and we know that he's there. I throw a plant over. Draven's still on the other side of the map, note. He should have been with the team. Campbell's on his way in from being dead. So this is kind of a dirt moment of mine. They go in. Beautiful steal by Jarvan. So I do all my stuff. I flash in then. After I got a couple plans over, I got a couple assists. And yeah. That was a beautiful ult. Yeah, no, it wasn't. I remember what the problem was here. For some reason, I had my screen like this, so I could only see like this much of it, and I still thought that there were some of them hiding in here, but they weren't. And then I flashed, and then I realized how much of a stupid idiot I was, and then I was like, wow, I'm terrible. And I said that in chat, so they knew. But we ended up catching them. They kind of end up getting away a little bit just because they're, whoever the fuck they are. Sona and Vayne. Draven's still split pushing bot, so we're actually getting somewhere. I'm flying back because I can buy whatever, or I don't know. I don't think I have any gold at this point. So I'm like, okay, well now we got some goals. And then Campbell, Tarek, and Aatrox catch out our Sona. And we're like, well, we need to push towers now. Now's the time. Now we're making, progress. Jarvan initiates on the tower. It ends up it wasn't a great engage because we were on the tower, but it did end up helping. Or we ended up winning the team fight. It was 2 for 3, and we got a tower and an inhib. Sona couldn't do a whole lot against these 3, so the 2 kind of not really damage dealers-ish. The 2 not carries died, so it ended up working out well. And the whole time this is going on, they decided to go steal our buffs, but minions are pushing back, so we're like, shit. The one lane we don't have pushed out or super minions on is our bottom lane. So here in a second, I'm like, well, we need to go push that. And we're just flying through it again. Everyone's kind of like, well, what are we doing? Camel's just following me. He's placing some wards, getting some wards up. I'm kind of going with them to protect them. We see that they're blue. There's nothing we could do. It's gone. So I'm like, everyone's like, okay, well, let's take the bottom tower. Let's go. So we go throw it. Camel and I throw some wards in that bush. That's something that as Zyra you can do. As I did before at Dragon, I threw a little plant in there to kind of keep an eye on them. Campbell threw a ward in there, so his was like a 10 times better. But So we kind of continue. We knew that they weren't going to flank us, so we're like, okay, well, the mid inhib is up, so we go take that. Okay. We take that. Jarvan decides to engage for whatever reason. Bad idea. Half of us did not engage. Let me pull it back a little bit, and then we'll take a quick look. Okay, speed up a little bit. Okay. So we got a stun up. And we're all attacking. Jarvan throws that out. We're all attacking the tower. And let me slow it down just a little bit. So Jarvan goes in, and me, Draven are sitting there auto-attacking. Campbell throws out a heal. Aatrox is going back and forth because he's getting raped by Tryndamere. And then he decides to go in. I throw out my ult, but Fiddlestick still gets his ult off. I don't think there was one interrupted Fiddlestick's ult. That Zhonya's was really bad on my part. And we end up losing this team fight horribly because we half engaged. Tryndamere got torn up. Aatrox got torn up. I got like 3-shot, which, you know, I'm a squishy mage, so usually that happens. I fucked up my Zhonya's in that as well. But I don't think even if I didn't fuck up my Zhonya's, we would have won that. That was just a bad engage in general. So we're like, okay, well, we need to back up and defend. And they know this is their time to push, so they're all over this shit. So they take out the tower and the inhib, and Jarvan and Aatrox know they can't win that fight. Okay, this next part is... I don't know why they decided to do it now, but they decide to engage when they have no tower. And they are tanky for the most part, and Aatrox does have a lot of life return, but it's not going to be enough to survive 5 of them. Or is there 4 of them there? So they end up... Aatrox ends up falling. Jarvan gets out by the skin of his teeth. Campbell goes in, Taric, and throws out that stun on Diana, but it doesn't really do anything. It did slow her down enough for me to get some plants off. I actually get 2 types of plants off that time, and I ended up getting the kill thanks to Taric's stun there. So Jarvan decides to chase. He doesn't really get anywhere with this. They end up like catching him, but he ends up flashing out and getting away either way. So I decided to follow them, and it's like, okay, well, they're down Diana, so we need to do something. I throw some plants down there so I can get the free farm. And it's like, well, Diana's still down. We have no idea where the rest of them are, but we can't really... We've got enough map coverage for the most part that we can kind of get an idea if they're coming. We took out Baron hella quick, and then... Alright, here. Blue buff just came up. Campbell slash Tarek suggested, hey, why don't you get blue buff? Even though I have a shit ton of AP, in the end, now that I think about it, I probably should have. Because I could probably kill it pretty quick. But I was like, no, I want to get bot. I want to get this pushed out. Let's go. And we were trying to signal Draven up here to get down here. I'm not sure if he actually comes, though. I was like, let's do this. The inhibitor is more important, or inhib slash turret's more important. Let's go down there, take that out. And then on my way back, if we survive or not win, then I'll grab it. So we continue on. I'm just like, okay, well, let's go. As you can see, I went back there. And I was like, never mind. But that was the point when we realized it. So we didn't even bother to place plant slash wards up there. I threw a plant up there to kind of keep an eye on it just to make sure. Here, they decided they wanted to go top. I was going to follow them, but Campbell's like, hey, why don't we stay here and distract them, which was a pretty good idea because it kept them here for a little bit. But they got smart. Once Aatrox and Jarvan started hitting the inhib, they ended up going up. And so now we're just kind of pushing out, and we're trying to be careful because one bad engagement at this point could be the end of it. So we're just trying to do our best, throwing harass on the tower and all that stuff. And, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do. Okay. So, Jarvan gets caught here. We're going to slow it down a bit. Jarvan gets caught here. Tryndamere knows he's in a bad position. He ends up flashing out, literally flashing. So, all but Draven. Draven's coming in from the side. This is beautiful. Look at that ult. Jarvan ulti got 3 of them in there right over the wall. I already got a plant in there. I try and throw down another one, I believe. Aatrox jumps in, here as you'll see in a second, and knocks them up. See, or only knocks one of them up. Sona ults, but it's not a whole lot they can do. I think I'm still in range, so I still get hit by it. But Jarvan's got the tenacity, so he's not as stunned as long. I throw my ult out right on top of this, as you can see it coming up. So it already does the damage, and right as it, just before Jarvan's ult goes off, it ends up knocking them all up. And Vayne's already taken a ton of damage at this point, and their team is just eradicated. So what ends up happening is, Vayne falls to all of us pretty quick. We end up pushing the tower and winning. I can't fast forward it for whatever reason. I'm using a wall replay. If anyone knows, let me know. I'm not too worried about it otherwise. Give me some time to talk. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any tips or hints, please let me know. If your comments are always awesome. If you learn anything from the video, definitely, like it. Or if you just enjoyed it, like it. But I plan on uploading the rest of the matches whether I get into silver or not. I'm pretty sure I will, but there's that chance that I probably won't. I like to consider myself a pretty decent player. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. And I should be I'm hoping that I only have to do 2 more, because that means I won the next 2. And it means I got into silver. And then if you guys enjoy these videos or really like kind of the style, I will actually go ahead and start doing more. And just kind of random things, I hope those who are still learning the game are still learning kind of like level 30-ish playstyles and meta. I hope you guys took something away from it. And for those pros, give me some help. I love all the types of help. If there's something I said that was wrong, please correct me. But thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you all later. This has been the TheDrFrancis. Night. Bye. Ish. Yeah.